for a cause that is finally being recognized as a major issue in women's health care. Wow, okay. For those of you who don't know, Shane suffered from all three of these issues, one after the other. First, a deep vein thrombosis and pulmonary embolism while taking the contraceptive Yasmin. Then, she lost her baby because of a severely clotted placenta. And 3 days later, we lost Shane following a C-section, which is the single most dangerous procedure for women with clotting disorders. But Shane had been perfectly healthy. No blood clotting disorder was ever diagnosed. What's more, neither Shane nor we, her family, had any idea of the types of risks Shane faced during her pregnancy. Since then, we have learned a great deal about blood clots during pregnancy. We have learned that the three parts of what happened to Shane and her baby are not at all rare. Placental clotting is a major cause of fetal health issues. We've also learned that such disasters are, to a large extent, entirely preventable for most women and babies, and that these deaths represent the tip of a very large iceberg of maternal health issues, which astoundingly cause the United States to have the highest maternal mortality rate in the industrialized world. I want you to look at this for a minute. Can you believe this? Look where we are. I'm going to quote from an article co-published by NPR and ProPublica just last week. Okay, this is the quote. American women are more than three times as likely as Canadian women to die in the maternal period, defined by the Centers for Disease Control as the start of pregnancy to 1 year after delivery or termination. 6 times likely as Scandinavians to die. Okay, so absorb what I'm saying. In this country, women are 6 times more likely to die. In every other wealthy country, and in most less affluent ones as well. Maternal mortality rates have been falling in all the rest of the world, in all these other countries. In Great Britain, the journal Lancet recently noted the rate has declined so dramatically of maternal mortality that a man is more likely to die when his partner is pregnant than she is. But in the US, the maternal deaths increased, as you can see, from 2000 to 2014. In a recent analysis by the CDC Foundation, nearly 60% of such deaths were preventable. That's the end of the quote. This is the scandalous, deep, dark secret of women's health care in the United States. The Shane Foundation is dedicated to the proposition that 2 critical things must happen. The public must be made aware, and research must be funded. Tonight brings us the opportunity to do both. Hadassah Medical Organization is one of the preeminent facilities of its kind in the world. As many of you know, Israel is a world leader in cutting-edge technological and medical research. Israel is now #1 in the world in investing the highest percentage of its GDP back into research. Israel is ideologically and philosophically dedicated to driving medical research forward and moving the needle to improve women's health care. Hadassah Medical Organization is one of the preeminent facilities in the world studying maternal fetal blood clots. For these reasons, the Shane Foundation selected Hadassah Medical Organization as the ideal place to fund a $40,000 research grant. Hadassah has given us a project that will bring us an important step closer to identifying the source of 2 major killers of mothers and babies, preeclampsia and thrombophilia. It is well known that thrombophilia is a prime underlying factor for preeclampsia, but as of yet, we cannot diagnose or predict which women will fall victim and how and why this happens. That's exactly what must be researched. Hadassah Medical Organization is the finest place to undertake this research, and the Shane Foundation will make this possible with your help. Many of you here tonight helped us launch our foundation in 2013, 3 years after the loss of Shane and her baby. Right here in this room, I was wearing the same dress. I'm frugal. You were among the very few who recognized the implications and realized we were just scratching the surface of a major problem. Our most memorable speaker from that night was supposed to be here tonight. I don't see Dr. Dewani, but I wanted to welcome him. He's been amazing, and if anybody ever has a high-risk issue in this city, please let me know so I can put you in touch with him. I'm proud to say that in the past year, the Shane Foundation has had the opportunity to work with organizations on both the state and the national level who are in the process of changing maternal health care policy. With this in mind, I'll introduce my mother, who last fall was appointed to serve as patient advocate on the Council on Patient Safety in Women's Health Care. This is a national organization convened by obstetricians and perinatal professionals from around the country who meet in Washington, D.C. twice a year and are creating new guidelines to tackle the unconscionable U.S. maternal death and morbidity rate.
Thank you, dear Robin. As representing the Shane Foundation, I'm extremely proud to have been appointed as a voting member of the council. I urge you, when you have a chance, to take a look at their website, which is, as you see there, it's actually safehealthcareforeverywoman.org. If you look at their website, you'll be amazed at the depth of what they're tackling. Perhaps you're aware that some members of the council from this group sponsored the March for Moms, which took place at the Jefferson Memorial this past Mother's Day. I also want you to know that others from this group are working on congressional action in the form of H.R. 1318, and that is the Preventing Maternal Deaths Act of 2017. This bill was brought to the House of Representatives on March 2nd. The bill states that severe complications of pregnancy affects more than 65,000 women in the U.S. each year. Shane was certainly not alone, though at the time, you know, we all thought she was. So all those of you who say that you are nervous about the future of women's health care in this country, here's something you can do right now. Write to your congressperson supporting this bill and say it's for Shane. And you can also say that you are happy to be living here in California, because the bill information states that California is way ahead of other states in addressing these issues. We're very honored tonight to have someone here who was instrumental in making California a safer state for pregnant women, and especially for women with blood clotting issues like Shane. Before I was appointed to the council, I had the honor to serve with the CMQCC, and that stands for California Maternal Quality Care Collaborative. This group was founded in 2006 at Stanford University School of Medicine, and it was founded in response to this rising tide of maternal mortality and morbidity. Two of my own personal heroes are the co-chairs of the CMQCC Maternal Venous Thromboembolism Task Force. And the first one is Dr. Afshan Hamid, and she's from UC Irvine Medical Center. And the second is Dr. Douglas Montgomery, who's Director of Maternal Fetal Medicine at Kaiser Riverside Medical Center. And I can't begin to tell you what an honor it is tonight that we have Dr. Montgomery here with us as our special guest. So I'm going to ask him to say a few words and share his just boundless knowledge on this topic. You have no idea what this man has accomplished, so.
Thank you all, and I will indeed ensure you that shame lives, I know, in everyone's heart that knew her, and then certainly in her mother's. And this is no small feat that she has been appointed on the Council for Patient Safety in the United States. That council is a huge push by the Americans to try and prevent maternal death. And I think it's a tremendous honor, Roberta, that you're on that council. It just speaks to your passion and engagement. At the beginning of the night, she was saying, Doug, what can I do to really get this out there? I said, you are doing it right now. Don't let anybody change what you're doing. Your patient will persist as you have persisted. That's the main thing I can tell you. She's done a great job. And so I want to assure you, you'll see a slide here that'll make you take a deep breath if you're going to have a baby. This is being worked on, and it takes a lot of patient advocacy, and I would just say the word persistence is key with this. And so let me see if I can get my clicker to help me out here. Robin did a great job. I was impressed by her medical proficiency with her description of what's going on in the United States. And this just starts out the graph here, and she showed a nicer graph with a red line. The maternal mortality in the United States has doubled over the last 2.5 decades. There's a lot of arguing over what's going on. Is it obesity? Is it more medical complications? Is it women pushing their age back? And all the doctors that are really passionate about this, such as I said, don't care. Unacceptable. We are 60th in the world. So it's safer to deliver in 60 other countries in here. And that's including not well-developed nations. So Canada, Great Britain, of course, they're in there. I'm talking Africa, Sub-Sahara. This is unbelievable. And so this is us going up, 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 and up. And so again, there's a huge effort to fight this going on. And here's the top 3 causes as we know them. And these are top 3 preventable causes. You can see VTE is the acronym that stands for blood clots. That's at the top in the purple. Or for you ladies, I don't know what color it is, fuchsia. And the next one down in green, high blood pressure, that's the preeclampsia. And then red for blood, that's the hemorrhage. Okay, those are the top 3. And I think as Robin pointed out, more than half of these are preventable. The vast majority of these are preventable. You have to be ready for them as an organization. You have to recognize them as an organization. You have to do something about them as an individual. And so part of that recognition is what's going on with patient awareness and patient advocacy. That's huge. And then there's the research part. And you have partnered with Hadassah, which is fantastic. And they are in the right place. And then actually, there are a lot of publications about thrombophilia have come from Israel, and they provide a lot of information to us that we depend on. So they're doing a great job. So good partner, good choice. If I can get my slide. This is the United States, and what we've done here, this effort started back on these top 3 causes of maternal death: the blood clots, bleeding, and high blood pressure. And being a doctor, everybody looks and goes, well, geez, you're a doctor, you're supposed to know everything. You don't. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, you're tired, you're running between 6 different things, and what we have found makes no surprise to somebody who's in the educational field. These safety bundles are cognitive aids. No longer is the expectation of the doctor to know everything and be perfect and do it on his own. It's a team effort, and this is the focus of this council that Roberta is now serving with. These are cognitive aids, so they're checklists, they're protocols, they're triggers, they're, hey, if this, then do that. If you don't know, call for help. If she has these symptoms, call, do these things, and it spells it out. And they're in 4 domains. They help you recognize things, prepare for them as an organization, and get through. And so these are important. These safety bundles is what we call them at the American College of OB/GYN, who is the foster parent of the Safety Council. And so these things have been wrapped up, and we implemented them, which is no small task, in California. You can see the line blue going down. That's California. That's our maternal mortality rate. dropping precipitously starting around 2009 when we rolled out the first bundle. You can see it still, you can see it coming down. The rest of the United States is in red going up. It seems easy, but it's not. It's implementing them in large systems. And so how I got involved in this is that I did this, I moved from private practice at a large clinic foundation figure in New Orleans called Oxford Clinic, and came out here specifically on purpose to Kaiser, turned away from private practice in Santa Barbara, and went there on purpose because it's 50,000 women a year that I can have an impact on. So I went there purposely to work on this. And I won't tell you my personal journey, but it strikes the heart very deep. I had a friend of mine who was my patient that died in my hands, in my care, doing everything we could. Just everything was being done, and she died. It's just, it just motivates you the rest of your life. So here I am. And here's California coming down. So we've taken these safety bundles, these national ones, and I implemented 2 bundles through Kaiser. And because of the success of those implementation things, got wrapped up into the state program. And you can see the blank here is blood clots. We started with hemorrhage, then went to preeclampsia, and now we're on blood clots. And I say we as in California and we in the United States. I implemented the blood clot program back in 2013 at Kaiser. This is the publication that we just published. This is the national group of people that I work with here. So we published this nationally through the American College of OBGYN, and not just one journal, it went in 5 journals altogether, just to try and get the word out so that people know what's going on. So this is going to anesthesiologists, it's going to midwives, it's going to AWON, to nurses, it's going to obstetricians. And so we're trying to be collaborative. It's a team effort, no longer is an individual effort. It's a team focus to get this out to everybody that we can. So this is to get ready and respond and how to do it. So we recommend drills and simulations. For instance, we meet as a team, there'd be like 15 of us in a room, and we practice for doing emergencies. So we do a mock drill so that everybody knows what they do, how to do, when they do. And as part of it, as part of this research, has found that all this implementation part is a big deal. This is the alphabet soup of the CMQCC. Robin did a nice job. California Maternal Quality Care Collaborative, as did Roberta. I said it backwards for about 3 years. It rolls off my tongue really easy at CQMCC, but it's not. It's California Maternal. But they work with the California Department of Public Health, which is good and bad. It's a large government bureaucracy, and it takes time to do things. So we finished writing this bundle a year ago, and it's still in process. I spent the better part of 3 hours this afternoon on the phone, putting it into our order set for 35 to 40,000 people in Southern California, Kaiser. We're way ahead because I'm there and I'm passionate about this. But this is the team right here. And we've been very fortunate to have Roberta on our CMQCC. She's our patient advocate, and she did such a good job. She's pulled up into the council, so good job. And thank you for being there and really helping. So this is really so simple, and this is what I'm known for. I'm known for taking a big pile of clumsy, hard to read, and making it simple. There's a degree in implementation science now. It takes 4 years to get, and I kind of laughed when I heard it, because to me, it's all about this right here. And where we were is at the top line. We were just watching things in the United States, hoping the doctor was smart enough at 2 a.m. to do it on his own. Better find a good doctor. Anybody ask, who should I go to, right? Better find a good doctor. That's going now. It's all about getting a team. That was back in the days of letting things happen on their own. Then the next step would be helping the doctors happen. Those are the safety bundles. Those are the protocols, checklists, triggers, the bundles we're giving them. And then the last part is the making it happen, where a team actually focuses on it and spends time figuring out how are we going to actually do this. It takes the nurse, the anesthesiologist, the doctor, the patient. It takes everybody. And again, Roberta, the key word is persistence on the patient, and I think that's just the key. So we took those things and implemented it. We're doing it now at the CMQCC, and it's been done in these safety bundles nationwide. Part of that website that Roberta showed you, the Safe Counts for Every Woman, there's a big chunk on it for doctors to figure out how to actually plug it into their hospital, because the real trick is going from a bundle like that to dropping the maternal mortality here. You have to make it happen. And you can't just do it by pounding the table and saying it's unacceptable. You have to help the doctors and help them, and the patients have to be their own advocate, and you have to have research. You have to have the, we don't know, but if we do this, it could help. And so that's all key. That's part of the making it happen, which is why you guys are here tonight. And this is, I'll tell you one of the big reasons here, this is why it's really good to be a patient advocate. It's why it's a big deal what Roberta is doing. It's such a big deal. Again, I can't put into words the honor it is that she got plucked out of the CMQCC and nationwide to become the patient advocate for the council. I cannot tell you what a big deal that is. So
Doc is why I married her.
yeah, well, you know.
You said I was a pest, and that's my job.
It is.
So I'm pestering at consistently higher levels.
They know that your persistence is what's needed. Yeah, it's persistence, it's not pestering. You got the wrong P there. I want to point this out, and so while we're on the term of pestering or persistence, it's really good to be your own patient advocate. And I want to explain something here. This is under this little bullet here. Why, without the research, we can't do too much. So we need the research, and all you guys are here to do that. You partner with a wonderful medical center through Hadassah. It's just fantastic. And that's one way to really get some traction with this. One thing that happens to us as physicians, and this is why it's important to be a patient advocate, and why Roberta's role is so important, and why the Shane Foundation is so critical. You have to, as a patient, you can't be your own doctor, but you can be persistent, and you can know something's not right, and your family can know something's not right. And despite Roberta's best efforts, and the whole family, still bad things can happen, but that will probably half of the time save somebody's life. And it's that persistence that's key. And it happens. It's not that people or doctors are lazy. It's not that they don't know. There's something called normalization of deviance, and everybody will remember the two space shuttle tragedies, right? And it's called normalization of deviance. And this is true. Everybody who's got your phone, Wikipedia, the shuttle crashes, and you'll see in there. The engineers were talking to each other for years going, wow, these shingles come off all the time. Don't worry about it. It's okay. These O-rings get charred like that all the time. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Well, we all know what happened. 2 disasters, no more shuttle program. That's called normalization of deviance. You get away with abnormal so long, you don't know that it's wrong anymore. Women have blood clots in their legs so often, we go, wow, she had blood clot in her legs. She did okay? Yeah. Boy, good thing, right? Until somebody gets short of breath. Wow, what happened? She had blood clot in her lungs. Did you do anything? She did okay. Wow, what's going on with the baby? Why is it small? Blood clot in the placenta. Why? She had preeclampsia. We don't know. Research, 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 so the doctors know. And this is what Hadassah is doing. This is what you guys are doing. You have to know what's going on so that it takes traction with the doctors. The doctors love to say, well, we don't know, so we're not going to do anything. That's not a good attitude. That's how this normalization of deviance, that's how these O-rings, these shuttle flakes, all these crazy things happen. And I don't know, I wasn't there, but I fear that's almost sounds what Shane, because there was a lot of, this isn't right, this isn't right, this is right. There was a lot of normalization of deviance there. So this is where research can help us out with that. And then once you get the research, it's hard to stick it into the protocol. I spent 3 hours on the phone today, and I got probably 2 sentences in an order set that's 3 pages long. I mean, it's just hard to do. It's very complicated. It's very tricky. But that's why my hair is now gray, and that's why I'm involved in this, because I'm good at unsticking the goo. So we're working on it right now. So we're trying to get into bigger systems and try and do things as we go through this. And this is just showing, this is just a nice graphic that shows doctors on their own all the way at the right. This is, if you try and do something and get it done, you get it done right about half the time. You might as well flip a coin if you leave the people on their own resources. 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, wait a second. I missed that day of med school is the joke. I'm not sure what to do. It's not funny when the mortality in the United States is doubling over the past 2.5 decades. So the docs on their own are about a 50-50 proposition, and it goes up from there. And we think, my premise is that other countries work better in teams. The premise of the United States is that you're the doctor, so it's not the man, the doctor, it's the team. And it's all about team. And as you ramp up and get the team involved, you can see the response improves. And this has been published in several journals several times. So I believe in this, and that's why I'm on this journey here with this. And this is why we're all here, to remember Shane. And again, to promote the research, which you're all doing. And through promoting research, you help things get traction, because then the doctors have more answers. And as those come in, and then that gives me the scientific data to push things at a national meeting. We just had one down in San Diego, and I gave this talk a little bit more expounded on the medical side of things. Gave the same talk about making it stick, and the doctors want to know that they have to research. So it's a big deal that you guys are here, supporting the Shane Foundation, supporting research, and congrats to Robin and for Roberta for doing all that they're doing. And Roberta, it's such a big deal. You're on the council. Stay ahead, forge ahead, and let me know what I can do to help you.
I thank you so for that incredible presentation, Dr. Montgomery. Thank you.
Thank you.
I wish we knew you in 2010 and 2009. We wanted to bring Dr. Montgomery here tonight because the public really needs to know more about the work of CMQCC and the Council and why it's so important. Their work is written specifically for medical professionals, so the media isn't covering much of what they're doing. For us at the Shane Foundation, the CMQCC Maternal VTE, that's venous thrombosis, toolkit is the single most important work accomplished this year to save women like Shane here in California. This is why we have named Drs. Montgomery and his partner on the CMQCC team, Dr. Afshin Hamid, as our Shane Foundation Persons of the Year. I wanted to take a moment to say something about the contraceptive issue. As I mentioned, Shane's disaster began when she suffered a deep vein thrombosis and pulmonary embolism while taking Yasmin. It has always been known that the hormones in contraceptive drugs increase the risk of blood clots. What is new in the last dozen years is the vastly higher risk presented by what is called fourth-generation contraceptives, generally those containing synthetic progesterone. The problem is that there is really no good way to tell exactly which women will be adversely affected. So we recommend using the older version of oral contraceptives, which seem to be safer for most women. Everyone should become familiar with the list of basic risk factors related to both certain types of contraceptives and pregnancy. In cooperation with the CMQCC, the Shane Foundation created this new infographic. I cannot. Yeah, okay. There it is. To illustrate and simplify. This sheet is for very wide distribution. I have some over there for you to take with you. It will be translated into various languages. It is our goal to have this information in the hands of all pregnant women. The idea was to reduce a vast amount of technical information that is basically unintelligible to the average person into a single page at 6th grade reading level that looks user-friendly and colorful. A page that could appear in a magazine, on a poster, a cell phone screen, or get tacked onto your refrigerator. The object being to take the knowledge and the power of action out of the medical office and put it directly in the hands of individual women. Your support has made this possible. We could not have done this. We couldn't have created any of the materials. We could not be here if it were not for you. With your support, the voice of the Shane Foundation is not just heard in LA or California, but across the country. And now it's our chance to reach across the world. This is a room full of philanthropic people. I know you, most of you. You are all so generous. And we understand you have many choices when it comes to allocating your charitable giving. And we all know there are many major medical foundations that raise millions of dollars every year. By comparison, the Shane Foundation appears to be very tiny. But those millions raised by huge foundations don't necessarily translate into any real changes in medical practice or policy. Thanks to you, our loyal supporters, we've now been given a very large megaphone to broadcast our voice on the world stage of this issue. And thanks to you, we can support the most effective research possible so that others don't have to suffer as Shane did and as we have. Please help us tonight reach our goal of funding the $40,000 grant we will donate to Hadassah Medical Organization. I want to thank all of you for being with us tonight. I really want to look around and make eye contact with you all, people I don't know, and my dear friends and new friends, and you know how much it means to me. Anyone who knows me knows how much it means to me that you all are here. Thank you, Dr. Montgomery, for your informative presentation and for your tireless work. Again, thank you, Abby and Alexis. Abby. for your continued help in all kinds of ways, including taking donations. Please visit them at the back of the room. Come on. Now's the time. They want to. Thanks, Laura. Come on.
Since her phone.
Go sit. They're going to be right here. We take credit cards and checks, shekels, whatever you have on you. Thank you to Emily and Joel Fenner, my sister and brother-in-law, for donating the wine. Thank you to Mark's Garden and Dana Bresson for the gorgeous flowers. Thank you to Howard Lesner and Judy Bagan for your continued support of our events and allowing us to be here at Sinai Temple. Thank you to Matt and John, my husband, who is also our technical advisors. And Johnny, I think I said this once before, but thank you for making everything possible that I do and that we do. Thanks to my dad for pretty much everything. So I can't, like, just everything. And the words thank you don't begin to describe the awe and pride I feel when I think about what my mom has accomplished. Last, thank you to my sister, Jane. Right there. Thank you for being my sister. Oh, I wanted to have a picture of it. This is broken. Okay, thank you all. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being with me.